Okay, I am down to my last row and I really had to move my beads up. I realized I should have started at the top and I didn't. But the beads will move, so if you need to press up to get some more space, because I do need a little space here for my final row, I'm just going to roll those beads best I can so they're right at the top. Finish off this row. I did find also once I got closer to the end here, it helped to go for me to lift up my beads so that I make sure that I was underneath. And I just push the beads down so that I make sure I'm underneath all of them. All the way across. And then put on my final row. And again, put them in between the rows, lift this up, and go underneath. Now this last one's going to be a little tricky, so you might have to be a little patient, making sure you're pushing the bead down and going underneath all the way across. Pull it through, and now here I'm going to knot the end. So I'm just going to go through that last thread so that I have a loop, and I'm going to go through the loop and secure it with a knot, and I'm going to do it one more time. So underneath my last thread, make a loop, go through the loop, pull it down to make a knot, and then we can take it off our needle. Okay, so on the back now we're going to flip it over, we're going to remove our tape, and we are going to cut the strings right down the middle. Then we can flip it back to the front, pull these out, and then two at a time, we're going to take them off the loom and we're going to tie these two together. Get that knot out of the way. So I've got these two strands, I'm going to right over left and under, pull, oops, not too tight, we don't want it to go lift up that bead, so just underneath that bead, again, right over left, pull it through, and leave it. Then I'm going to take the next two strings off and do the same thing. Right over left, underneath, pull, left over right, right over left, it doesn't matter. Pull, double knot, and then the last two on this side, right over left, pull it, not too tight, just loose, and then another knot, left over right, and pull. And that part is off, and then we'll flip it around to our other side and do the same thing. So take my two strands off, right over left, under, loosely, right over left and under, double knot, take my next two, right over left, under, tie it loosely, right over left, under, knot, and my last two. Now this is where I tied off at the end, so I'm just going to take these two as well. Right over left, and another right over left, under, and pull. And there you have your completed belt. You want to make sure it's not too tight or these things happen, so just press them back down, give it a little stretch, and they should all fall into place. Now these ends, where you have a little knot here, you might be able to push in some of these loose ends inside so that they get hidden out of sight, maybe with the darning, the bigger head. So you could work on that, kind of trying to hide them in. Easier said than done, maybe. Or just take a little bit of glue, decide which is your top and which is your bottom, a little bit of white glue, and just glue it in place. For these ends, you can leave them like they are, or if you wanted to, you could braid them. So you have 3 strands, you have 6 strands, but we're going to put them into groups of 2. So for braiding, you go right over the middle, then left goes over the middle, right goes over the middle, left goes over the middle, continue all the way down. And then when you get close to the bottom here, you can just loop these all and tie a knot, pulling all your loose ends through. So either way, braided or unbraided. And if these are too long, then maybe you want to just tidy them up and have them all the same length. I think I kind of like it loose like that, but entirely up to you. It's your project. So here's another little knot to it. Just take a little bit of glue and glue that underneath too. And we're all done. I hope you had fun with the project, and good luck.